Hello everyone, thanks for tuning back into the Ponderosa. So I had a lot of ideas on this very first trip with this RV for making videos. And between New Year's, my wife's birthday, anniversary, having fun, I didn't get around to it. So I'll try to make a video here because I really want to do a lot more. But this is the first time you've seen this Catalina Coachmen not where it normally is. So for those who don't know, I've spent a lot putting a lot of off-grid ideas into this thing, and it is right now running completely self-contained with no power hookup. That includes air conditioner, heat, whatever you want. It's a 34-foot Coachmen Catalina Legacy Edition, okay? And like I said, I apologize. I had a lot more videos planned and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just a couple of things of how this has been running. To give you an idea, there's my F250 6.0 2004. Pulled it quite nice. And what you're going to see in this video, if you see anything out of place, like a bird cage, it's because we're nearing the end of this trip, and things got taken out. I had to put the bird in the little cage of transport. The wife did, and then we're going to have to situate, put everything back where it needs to be. There's my 6.0. I have a video I want to put on that when I had the motor rebuilt. I had the motor out on the floor at Bill's Diesel Power Pro. And, it's got the tuner on. I put a tuner on it and stuff. I actually backed the tuner down. I got tired of breaking stuff. I mean, I bent U-joints. I think I tweaked the drive shaft. It's got a tiny little bit of a vibration yet after new U-joints and all that. So, but that thing pulls it well. I'm going to show you the hitch system I have when I hook it up tomorrow. I have the Husky centerline sway control, on there, that hooks up to the trailer to keep that thing straight on the road. But there's this one slide out, okay? A couple things that I want to show you here. As I said, right now we are completely off grid, and I'm at a buddy's house here. If you're wondering, we're staying on his property, and so this right here, this plug does not come from shore power, as they call it. Shore power would actually be rolled up over here because I disconnected it. That's there. A couple days it was raining. It was not sunny at all. That's going. He's got a 50 amp and a 30 amp over here, and I had the 50 amp hooked up, run AC and stuff when I needed it. Right now though, it is running on my inverter. That's the plug that you see there. That's the way I did it, because I did not want to go tying into cutting open the breaker panel. I wanted it to be where I could pull all this out if I want, and you'd never know it. So I have a 50 amp plug here, 8 gauge, 3 conductor wire, and then I basically have it set up as a 30 amp on the plug here. The plug is the hot leg, neutral ground, and then the other hot leg is joined in on it, kind of like the 30 amp to 50 amp dog bone adapter would. Okay, that's pretty much what's happening there. So I don't plan on pulling more than a 30 amp circuit off that inverter. So let me show you real quick. There's the porch, by the way. I have a like a 10-foot porch that folds down. Okay, and that's on this side of the property because of the sun. It keeps me shady, and it's a cool play area there. I'll show you a couple things real quick. Number one, these jacks are something that I didn't realize existed until I really needed to, figure. Those are jacks for the slide out. Okay, they're designed for the slide out. They're adjustable up and down with the pin, and then you can fine tune the adjustment with the screw. It's actually a good idea to have your slide out when it's out for a long time on jacks. I realized that from watching other videos because people say, the weight will flex that thing a lot, all right? And don't take mind, I did not get leveling bricks. Don't take mind in how I put the tires there for a couple of days. All right, I just got them on, tried to level it out. But I have one jack there, I need another one. And I also have one jack under the porch because the porch likes to flex with a lot of people on there. So I put a jack there, all right? So let me show you real quick what's happening here. I have my inverter, and this is a mess. Oh, okay. It's a mess in here. There's my inverter hanging out. This is a 5,000 watt pure sine wave 24 volt to 120 volt inverter. Fans just kicked on. There's really not much being drawn on it. That's 5,000 watts continuous, 10,000 watt peak, and they do, like I said, they do make 24, 48. This is a 24 volt right there. Okay, it's a 24 volt battery plant. And this is the wire you see that's going to the back. All right, so I hardwired it right in, and I do have 2 outlets there as well. I got the 0 gauge wire coming down through the floor, which is actually going under here. All right, I took the Bluetooth adapter off, but there's the wiring here. Goes into the battery plant. Before I go into there and just give you an update, here is the other one. This is for the 12 volt system, EP Ever, and I bought the Bluetooth box so that I can Bluetooth to it as well and see the voltages. Right now we're pulling in, let's see. Okay, so 18 volts on the solar panels in full sun, 2.2 amps because there's a little bit of clouds. It was about 6 amps, 21.7 kilowatt hours. Batteries are at 14.6 volts. So actually it's dropping down. That's why there's not so much current going into the batteries, 2.9 amps. It's running lights, the water pump, yada, yada. All right, that's going to the 12 volt battery. So in here, let me show you an update here because this is all getting changed. Why? If you've watched previous videos, is because I have all new batteries to put in here. These are fine. They're new, okay? Here's the deep cycle 100 amp hours, right? I know this looks like a kludge here because I was rewiring and getting ready to take it out. My solar charge controller is in here. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the Bluetooth app shortly because I've been quite impressed with this controller, all right? But the new batteries that I'm putting in, I have 14 of them. I have 2 right here. Check it out. These are the Alpha Cell. Let's see if I can get this on camera here. Alpha Cell 100 XTV. Sealed lead acid, sort of telco grade, 100 amp hour. So you can see here, I had two 12 volt deep cycles like this in place for the 12 volt system. And I just downsized a little bit with some more runtime because these can go down to 20% depth of discharge. So that's going to be really good. I can run them down a little bit more. And these are sealed, no gases, no maintenance free. Don't have to add water because I did top all these off, which I really never had to use water on these yet or add water to them. They're still like brand new. I never really put them under a serious load, never killed them. You don't want the deep cycles, the lead acid, flooded deep cycles to go down below 50%. But these Alpha Cells, these are way more expensive, and they'll actually run to negative 25 degrees Celsius? Let's see. It says somewhere here on the spec sheet. But they have smaller terminals, okay? They don't have the regular terminals like you'd see here. So what I have to do now is I'm going to have washers, on here to get those terminals flat, and I'm gonna have to redo all the wiring again because now I'm gonna have more runtime. I'm gonna have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and those are going to be 5 in series or 5 in parallel at 12 volts, 500 amp hours, another 5 together in 24. I'm going from 300 amp hours to 500 amp hours in my battery plant. That's a video coming up. But I want to show you, what I've noticed is I can run, or tested, in full sun. I could run AC almost indefinitely in full sun. 15,000 BTU air conditioner. All right, and this is, did I notice any bit of change from the weight with this when I was towing? I can't tell because I never towed, well, I did tow it without it when I brought it home. But it wasn't a big deal to have that extra tongue weight. But like I said, now I'm going to go to 500 amp hours at 24 volts instead of 300 amp hours and a lower depth of discharge. All right, so here's what we're looking at right now in complete full sunlight. 720 watts. That's 21 amps coming in, 25.8 amps charging. Batteries are 100%, 26.6 volts. That is set in the app. I can go in here and set, I'm going to go back in the app here and when I get new batteries. When I have the new batteries I put in, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to change this to sealed lead acid when I put those batteries in right here, see? For now, It gives me a history on here on what's, you know, the highest, like right here, it says 750 watts was the max charging power that I've seen. 29.5 volts was the max battery volt. That was on equalize, I think, when it routinely equalizes. Right now we're at 26.6 volts, 716 watts coming in. And I'm going to fire up an air conditioner and show you what it looks like and how this thing runs. All right, and then we're going to... Air conditioner's on high, all right? And I really don't need air conditioner. It's like 50 something outside right now, but we're just doing this for the video. Now, if you look at the app, let me put this here so maybe we can see it better. All right, so right now, you know, it's charging at 27.05 amps. The battery, you know, bank just went down to 25.2 volts, falling slowly. Now, if you watch this over the period of, you know, 20 minutes or so, these will level out. And I'll be sitting right at about 24.8, 24.7, as long as I have 700, 800, or 1,000 watts coming in. I have about 1,200 watts on the roof of the vehicle, but it's the middle of winter, so it's not directly overhead. But see, we're at 25 volts right now. The AC is running, and you're going to see it's not going to drop much farther down than that. So in direct sunlight, I could run indefinitely with air conditioner. I've yet to have the thing trip off when, you know, when the batteries got too low. They haven't got too low yet. I like to keep this right about 25 volts. And, you know, it just depends on how much sun you have. Right now there's clouds coming in and out. You can see them up there, those high level clouds. 24.9 volts and steady. Because I one time ran this thing for hours and it turned into an ice box in there. So the fans come on, keep it cool. This says 24.4 volts. So I think the last time I put the meter on it, the app was right, and that's not. Probably because, well, I don't know why. I'm not that smart. But it does. The thing about this inverter, I'm very, very happy with this inverter. The link's in the description. I looked around a lot for an inverter, and I could not find any that had 100% positive reviews. Even the Ames inverters weren't, you know, solid 100%. People were saying, oh, they suck. And so this one is made, who makes that? Let me see, I forget. I think it's reliable electric, I think, but that is pure sine wave, just like this little. I have a little 300 watter for doing stuff out in the yard with my portable solar panels. That's 15,000 BTU air conditioner running with the fridge, both televisions, Amazon Fire Stick, phone chargers. Yeah. A couple other things I've noticed is the black tank flush is highly recommended. If you just drain that with the macerator pump that I have and you don't flush with this with a hose for 10 minutes, the difference is between stink and no stink. You got to use that black tank flush, and just letting it out of the thing down here is not enough. You have to use that. So tomorrow I'll show you. She's probably freezing in there now. She's probably like, what? Honey, is the AC still on?
I'm just gonna say you're freezing me out.
All right, turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, AC is off. All right, we didn't need to have it on because it's cool out. Let's see what the voltage says now. It should go back up, and it's going to bring it. See, 74. All right, now it's going to start going back up, and it's going to charge to almost 100%. Well, it was 100% when I started this video, minus the draw from the refrigerator and stuff. Shaking here, too much Red Bull. Oh, and I'm charging Bioenna batteries from ham radios. So, oh. App sometimes flakes out. There you go. It's at 85%. So it'll bring this right back up to 100. Could you budget and turn the AC on for an hour, turn it off? Sure. Like I said, though, if you had enough solar all day long, enough power, you'd be able to run indefinitely. So you're back up to 90% right now. Now it'll stay 100% in MPPT charge mode with 30 amps of charging for the absorption, just to make sure that they're fully charged, because once it hits 100, it's not going to shut off, you know. If you shut the charger off now, it'll start dropping down. You can see the voltage is coming back up quite quickly after running that air conditioner. So I have plenty of battery. My solar is working as expected. I got to tie up a couple wires that had come off, you know, here. But one thing I didn't get to do was make a lot of videos like I wanted to, because it just got to too much fun, and you know. But it's spectacular right here. It's nice. But there's the Catalina. That's the Coachmen Legacy Edition, and the wife likes it. How's the off-grid situation, honey?
Working out pretty good.
Yeah. Have you ever been sweating your ass off in here without no AC?
Yep.
Exactly. So we're gonna clean up here, and sorry for the lack of videos, but hey, it still looks new as a 2020, right? This thing's still bitching. Got my little table here, my little camping chairs. Those are always good to have. Radio out here, laptop. The one thing that I wanted to have was, I like the little Coleman stove. Is great too. Make bacon on the off grid. This is the test. I mean, this is gonna be. We're gonna do this again, but it's not gonna be in my buddy's giant ranch. It's gonna be out in the middle of nowhere. But the porch here and the slider really makes it an adventure. It's fun here. You're not cooped up in a trailer, you know. But I could charge this with my fold-out solar panels and inverter without even having to use this solar if I wanted to. I have those Samlex 135 watt fold-out with that Samlex 300 watt inverter with a battery, and I could plug all this stuff in and not have to tax the solar on the roof. But this is the little hangout spot right here. It's a little dirty up here because of all the playing around and drinking for New Year's, but pretty cool setup, isn't it? With the trailer, with the porch and stuff. It's pretty cool. All right, so here's the 12 volt app for the EP Ever, and it's not as intuitive as the other one. I mean, it gives you quite a bit of information, but see, here's the solar panels, 18.39 volts, 1.65 amps, 30 watts. And I'm not sure why they're like that. It must be in float mode, because I have 250 watts of 12 volt solar alone up there. It doesn't tell you what mode it's in or anything, but it tells you the daily generated. It does give you your batteries, 14.57, 2.2 amps charging, and 25 degrees Celsius. I don't think I have the temperature sensor hooked up on that one. There's the 12 volt system, so I can monitor both of these on Bluetooth, not Wi-Fi, which I should have got the Wi-Fi adapter for this one. But I can monitor these both and see exactly what I have without having to look at the screens at all. So, till next time, take care.